Hello everyone, it's Kim and welcome back to my channel, Whimsical Narratives. I am here today with my London book haul. Back in February and at the beginning of this month, I was in London and I somehow managed to bring back 17 books with me. I really don't know how I was able to actually fit this in 2 bags, but I did. So I'm going to share those books with you. I don't think I've done a haul video in a very long time. And I think I'm going to switch up how I used to do them, or how I'm going to do them. So I've decided that I'm going to read each little summary of the book just to give you a taste of what it is, because I'm horrible at summarizing any kind of plot. So this saves me from having to do that, and it lets you know a bit more about each book, and yeah, so I'm very excited about these books. So let's go ahead and get started with my London book haul. Alright, so the first 4 books are the exact same book. I bought them for me and a few of my friends, and that is The Castle of Etronto by Horace Walpole. This I bought when I was visiting Strawberry Hill House towards the end of my trip, and it's a beautiful Gothic architecture building. It's so much fun, but it is very interesting because this book is the first supernatural English novel, which I had no idea. So if you've heard about this book, please let me know in the comments, but here is what it's about. And hopefully I can pronounce everything in all of these books, but we'll see how it goes. But this is what this one is about. The Castle of Etronto from 1764 is the first supernatural English novel and one of the most influential works of Gothic fiction. It inaugurated a literary genre that will be forever associated with the effects that Walpole pioneered. Professing to be the translation of a mysterious Italian tale from the darkest Middle Ages, the novel tells of Manfred, Prince of Otranto, whose fear of an ancient prophecy sets him on a course of destruction. After the grotesque death of his only son Conrad on his wedding day, Manfred determines to marry the bride-to-be. The Virgin Isabella flees through a castle riddled with secret passages, chilling coincidences, ghostly visitations, arcane revelations, and violent combat combine in a heady mix that terrified the novel's first readers. In this new edition, Nick Groom examines the reasons for the book's extraordinary impact and the Gothic culture from which it sprang. The Castle of Etronto was a game changer, and Walpole the writer who paved the way for modern horror exponents. I'm very interested to read this and then go back and read some Gothic classics like Frankenstein, for instance, and just see the comparison between things that happen in this book to those amazing works of Gothic literature. So I bought this for a few friends and me to read as a kind of like book club book. So here's my first 4 books of my book haul. Okay, these next 2 books came from the Freud Museum. They're both by Sigmund Freud. They are works of nonfiction, of course, the first one being Sigmund Freud, The Unconscious, and the other one being Sigmund Freud, The Uncanny. So I'll tell you what the Uncanny one is about first. I bought these when I was visiting the Freud Museum. So the first one says, Freud was fascinated by the mysteries of the creative and the imagination. The major pieces collected here explore the vivid but seemingly trivial childhood memories that often screen far more uncomfortable desires. The links between literature and daydreaming and our intensely mixed feelings about things we experience as uncanny. His insights into the roots of artistic expression, his triangular family romances of father, mother, and infant, reveal the artistry of Freud's own writing, and his celebrated study of Leonardo da Vinci brilliantly uses a single memory to reveal the childhood conflicts behind both Leonardo's remarkable achievements and his striking eccentricity. So that just sounds really interesting. I'm excited to finally read. I haven't read anything about Freud in a very long time. I don't think I've ever read one of his complete works. So I'm interested to read this one. And then next is, of course, The Unconscious. And that one is about one of Freud's central achievements was to demonstrate how unacceptable thoughts and feelings are repressed into the unconscious, from where they continue to exert a decisive influence over our lives. This volume contains a key statement about evidence for the unconscious and how it works, and major essays on the fundamentals of mental functioning. Freud explores how we are torn between the pleasure principle and the reality principle, how we often find ways both to express and to deny what we most fear, and why people so often need fetishes for their sexual satisfaction. These studies brilliantly illuminate our most basic drives and how they are transformed. So both nonfiction works from Sigmund Freud, and I'm very interested it's been a while since I've read any kind of academic writing or literature, so I'm very excited to give these a try over the course of the year or whenever they may pop up. I think I'm going to add them into my nonfiction jar though, so we'll see when these pop up. The rest of these books that I got on my trip all came from Waterstones on various trips. I kind of waited and bought all my books toward the end, but I definitely went into the bookstores on more than one occasion. Let's be real here. But I waited until the end of the trip to really know what I wanted to get. So the first book up is The Luckin Booth by Jenny Fagan, and this is what this one's about. 1910 Edinburgh. Jessie, the Devil's Daughter, arrives on the doorstep of an imposing tenement building and knocks on a freshly painted wooden door. She has been sent by her father to bear a child for a wealthy couple, but when things go wrong, she places a curse on the building and all who live there, and it lasts a century. Caught in the crossfire are the residents of 10 Luckin Booth Close, and they all have their own stories to tell. While the world outside is changing, inside the curse creeps up all 9 floors and through each door. Soon the building's longest kept secret, the truth of what happened to Jessie, will finally be heard. I am so excited. I read that and I'm like, ooh, Devil's Daughter coming in, there's a curse, like, I am so excited. Plus, like, can we just talk about this cover? It's gorgeous. I'm so excited about this one. It sounds amazing. The next book I picked up is Insatiable by Daisy Buchanan. It has some black sprayed edges and just an overall very striking appearance, and I feel like this book is going to be a very striking read in itself, so that's what this one's about. Stuck in a dead-end job, broken-hearted, broke, and estranged from her best friend, Violet's life is nothing like she thought it would be. She wants more. Better friends, better sex, a better job, and she wants it now. So when Lottie, who looks like the woman Violet wants to be when she grows up, offers Violet the chance to join her exciting startup, she bites. Only it soon becomes clear that Lottie and her husband Simon are not only inviting Violet into their company, they are also inviting her into their lives. Seduced by their townhouse, their expensive candles, and their Friday night sex parties, Violet cannot tear herself away from Lottie and Simon or their friends. But is this really the more Violet yearns for? Will it grant her whatever it is she is so desperately seeking? Like I said, a very striking plot, and the cover itself is, it's a very striking overall book, and I'm very interested to see where the entire plot really takes you and the meaning behind it. So there is this one, Insatiable. Next up, we have The Mad Women's Ball by Victoria Moss, and this one is stunning. Like, just look at this cover. I first saw it because of the cover, and it is about the Salpêtrière Asylum, 1885. All of Paris is enthralled to Dr. Charcot and his displays of hypnotism on women who have been deemed mad or hysterical, but the truth is more complicated. These women are often inconvenient, unwanted wives or strong-willed daughters. Once a year, a grand event is held, the Mad Women's Ball. For the Parisian elite, it is the highlight of the social season. For the women themselves, it is a rare moment of hope. Genevieve is a senior nurse who has placed her faith in Dr. Charcot and his new science, but everything changes when she meets Eugenie, the daughter of a bourgeois family. For Eugenie has a secret, and she needs Genevieve's help. Their fates will collide on the night of the Mad Women's Ball. It just sounds very thrilling, very dark, and I'm excited about it. And just the cover just really pulls me in. It's really short too, which I like, so I feel like it's going to be pretty jam-packed, so I'm excited about this one. The next one that I picked up is called Writers and Lovers by Lily King. This one, like, I mean, the title alone pulled me in, but the summary, once I read it, I was like, yes, I have to get this book. This was not on my radar until I was browsing the bookstore. So, here's what it's about. Recently out of a devastating love affair and mourning the death of her beloved mom, Cassie is lost. The novel she has been writing for 6 years isn't going anywhere, her debt is soaring, and at 31, with all her friends getting married and having kids, she feels too old for things to be this way. Then she meets Silas. He is kind, handsome, interested, but only a few weeks later, Oscar, older, fascinating, troubled, walks into her life, his 2 boys in tow. Suddenly, Cassie finds herself at the point of a love triangle, torn between 2 very different relationships that promise 2 very different futures. And she still got to write that book. So I think I was also drawn to this because, of course, it's about a 31-year-old, and this was literally my birthday trip for my 31st birthday, so that part of it, and along with the losing of her mother, I felt like this book just really spoke to me, and I'm excited to read it. It sounds really good. I can't wait to see it, or can't wait to read it. I mean, it's a nice cover to look at, so see it as well, I guess. But yeah, I can't wait to read this one. Next up is another nonfiction book, and it is called Written in Bone: Hidden Stories in What We Leave Behind by Sue Black. I saw this one and I was like, it's like the Written in Bone stuff gave me very much like the Bones forensic anthropology vibes when I first saw it, and of course that's exactly who it's written by. It's written by a forensic anthropologist. So this one is about: our bones are the silent witnesses to lives we lead. Our stories are marbled into their marrow. Drawing upon her years of research and remarkable experience, the world-renowned forensic anthropologist Professor Dame Sue Black takes us on a journey of revelation. From skull to toe, via the teeth, spine, chest, arms, hands, pelvis, and legs, she shows that each part of us has a tale to tell. What we eat, where we go, the things we do, all these leave a trace, a message waiting for a forensic anthropologist to decipher it. Limb by limb, case by case, some criminal, some historical, some uncountably bizarre, Sue Black reconstructs with intimate sensitivity and compassion the stories hidden in what we leave behind. I am so excited to read this. The TV show Bones is one of my favorite shows. I'm currently rewatching it, and I feel like I rewatch the whole series at least once a year. I'm very excited to read this book. I just feel like it's gonna be really good. So if you're interested in forensic anthropology or enjoy Bones, I feel like you should give this book a try, and it is available in the US as well. So check this one out, Written in Bone by Sue Black. The next book I picked up was one that I definitely had in mind as I was browsing, and that was Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. I first saw this on Gavin's channel, Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin. He loved this book, and it just sounds amazing. I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick that up on my trip. So this is what this one's about. It also has these beautiful blue sprayed edges. So here we go. Amari Peters knows 3 things. Her brother Quentin has gone missing. No one will talk about it. His mysterious job holds a clue. But then a strange invitation arrives. Amari has the chance to join the magical Bureau of Supernatural Affairs, completing missions in a world where mermaids, aliens, and magicians are real, and her roommate is a were-dragon. Secrets and surprises await Amari as she discovers her own rare and dangerous magical power, and soon she realizes that the Bureau could hold the key to finding her brother. All she has to do is pass 3 tryouts. So, magical school, like, I don't read too much middle grade, but this one just really caught my attention, and I'm excited to dive into a middle grade read, and this one just sounds so good. So check out this one if you like the sound of it. Alright, so the next book I picked up, we're going back to thrillers, is The Sanatorium by Sarah Pierce. It looks like this. We got some bright yellow sprayed edges, and I technically did check to see if we had this in the US, but the cover was so much cooler in the UK, so of course I picked it up there because it was definitely a cover buy because I saw the cover first. 100% saw this cover and those sprayed edges and was like, I need this book. So, another thriller, let's see what it's about. A beautiful eerie hotel in the Swiss Alps, recently converted from an abandoned sanatorium, is the last place Detective Elin Warner wants to be. But her estranged brother has invited her there for his engagement party, and she feels she has no choice but to accept. Arriving in the midst of a threatening storm, Elin immediately feels on edge, and things only get worse when they wake the next morning to find her brother's fiancée is missing. With access to the hotel cut off, the guests begin to panic. But this is only the first disappearance. Everyone's in danger, and anyone could be next. So, very not giving much plot away there for this book, so I'm excited to dive into this one and see what it's really about and what's going to happen. But yeah, so that is The Sanatorium by Sarah Pierce. Alright, so this next one I feel is like the perfect, like a very bookish book, if you will, and that is The Dictionary of Lost Words by Pip Williams. The title literally says it all, but it sounds really good, so here's what it's about. Motherless and irrepressibly curious, Esme spends her childhood at her father's feet as he and his team gather words for the very first Oxford English Dictionary. One day she sees a slip of paper containing a forgotten word flutter to the floor unclaimed. And so Esme begins to collect words for another dictionary in secret. the dictionary of lost words. But to do so, she must journey into a world on the cusp of change as the Great War looms and women fight for the vote. Can the power of lost words from the past finally help her make sense of her future? So good. Sounds amazing. So that is this book right here. And also the cover is gorgeous. Stunning. So I picked this one up. This one was on my want to buy list for quite a long time, and it is The Couple by Helly Acton. This sounds amazing. Like, just the idea behind it sounds very interesting, and of course it is like a romance, but a very different, kind of dystopian-esque contemporary, if you will. I don't know if that's the best way to describe it, but you'll see what I mean. Here's what it's about. What if? Don't worry, you'll find someone soon. So why is someone like you still single? Don't you get lonely being all on your own? Became, don't worry, you'll find yourself soon. So why is someone like you in a couple? Don't you get bored being with just one person? Millie lives in a society where being single is the norm. She's happy, she's successful, and she has a close-knit group of friends, not forgetting her very grumpy cat, Bruce. Her life is perfectly organized, and she likes it that way. The last thing she needs is romance messing it up, thank you very much. That is, until she is partnered with a new colleague, Ben. He's everything Millie's not, spontaneous, chaotic, and disorganized, not to mention annoyingly attractive. Together, they're tasked with launching a revolutionary new pill that prevents you from falling in love. So when Millie starts to develop feelings for Ben, she knows she could lose everything she's ever worked for. Will she risk it all for love? Like, it's a very, like, dystopian contemporary, I feel. Like, it's so interesting. I'm really excited to read this. This has been on my radar for quite some time, so I'm happy to finally, like, have a copy. Also, can we talk about how the pill breaks and it looks like a heart? I can't. This cover is so simple, but so good. I absolutely love it. So, I got this one. So this next book I am so excited to finally have in my possession, and that is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I'm so excited to finally start my Robin Hobb journey with this book. I'm so happy to have it. I had to wait patiently because I was like, no, I want to pick it up while I'm on my trip because these covers are amazing. The US ones just don't do it for me in the slightest. Like, I can't stand them. So I'm happy to have the UK edition. And I'm definitely, like, I'm trying not to start that many new series, but, like, this is going to be an exception. This needs to be on my April TBR. I'm so excited about it. So I bought Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb because I had to have it because I feel like everyone on BookTube is talking about it and having read-alongs, and I want to take part, and then I can go back and watch all the videos I missed. So I'm very excited about this one, as you can tell. So I bought this. And finally, I was not planning on buying this, but I saw it, and it was beautiful, so I had to pick it up, and that is the Waterstones exclusive edition of the Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. It just looks so pretty. I couldn't handle it. Look at those edges. It's just a gorgeous book. Like, the design on the paperback in the US is also absolutely stunning, but come on. It's gorgeous. It's shiny. I had to get it. So, I have not read it yet, but I'm very excited to. It's definitely on my TBR for this year, so let's see what it's about. Welcome to the Alexandrian Society. When the world's best magicians are offered an extraordinary opportunity, saying yes is easy. Each could join the secretive Alexandrian Society whose custodians guard lost knowledge from ancient civilizations. Their members enjoy a lifetime of power and prestige, yet each decade only 6 practitioners are invited to fill 5 places. Contenders Libby Rhodes and Nico de Verona are inseparable enemies, cosmologists who can control matter with their minds. Parisa Kamali is a telepath who sees the mind's deepest secrets. Raina Mori is a naturalist who can perceive and understand the flow of life itself. And Callum Nova is an empath who can manipulate the desires of others. Finally, there's Tristan Kane, whose powers mystify even himself. Following recruitment by the mysterious Atlas Blakely, they travel to the Society's London headquarters. Here, each must study and innovate within esoteric subject areas, and if they can prove themselves over the course of a year, they'll survive. Most of them. Yes. Some wonderful dark academia right here. I'm so excited. I'm guessing that I'll probably wait until the fall, like the autumn time to read this one. It's definitely that kind of vibe of a book, but I'm very excited to have this beautiful copy. So that was the final book that I purchased while I was away in London. So those are all the books I picked up on my trip. Oh, I'm so excited for all of them. Like, I don't even know where to start. Like, I want to read some of them so bad. I may try to get some on my TBRs in the next few months, but I'm definitely excited to read all of these books. I hope you enjoyed hearing a little bit about each one. Let me know if you enjoyed that kind of style of a haul video. Yeah, so, oh, I'm just so excited about these new books. This is the first time I've really gotten to like talk about them to anyone. So I'm just like, here's all the books I got. Oh, I'm so excited. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this haul and found some new books to check out and add to your TBRs. And I will see you all very soon in the next video. Take care and happy reading. Bye everyone.